Welcome back to Unranked Podcast. We're here for another week. Hope everybody had a great holiday, great Christmas. Got Elijah here as well, of course. Team is back to talk about the big game on Friday. Um, Michigan versus Georgia, something we've been waiting on for the last few weeks here. So we're just going to kind of dive in and give our what we think needs to happen, for that game to, end in our favor. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and kick it off to Elijah and let him talk about what he thinks needs to happen on Friday for us to get that W.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, I can't say how excited I am for the game. I think it's something, I've been waiting for us to play in this big of, well, I can't think of a game that we played in to this magnitude, like when the last one would be, like a Rose Bowl and I hope for or something. So, I
Yeah,
think,
it's been
yeah,
it's a good 15, 20 years. Yeah.
yeah. So, it's just exciting. It's exciting time. I think obviously Georgia's a fantastic team, but I think we're clicking on all a lot of facets, a lot of things going our way as of the last
Mhm.
couple of games. Obviously, we had a long month off. I think that's going to play a major factor, and I think a lot of that's going to come down to coaching. Is Harbaugh going to be able to put together a game plan in order to beat Georgia? So things I kind of say, I'm just going to rattle off three things that I think are very important in order to secure the victory. And I would say, uh, no, whoever wins the turnover margin, theoretically, no turnovers,
Yeah.
have a major, probably have to get two of these three. Control the line of scrimmage. And lastly, I would say big plays. Whoever can come up with big plays, whether it is limiting them or gaining large plays and
Mhm.
key third down conversions. If you have to do all that. Both teams have great defenses, and if you're able to limit your turnovers, uh, theoretically give them less positions, control the line of scrimmage. Obviously, that's goes hand in hand with a good tough football team, and lastly, I would say those large plays. With both teams having pretty good defenses, great defenses, I think each ranked in top 5 or 10.
Mhm.
I would say we are. It's important that you have to capitalize on large plays from the Michigan standpoint and keep those interesting plays. Those we threw on a halfback pass in the Big Ten
Mhm.
championship game. We're doing things I haven't seen us do. So I'm looking forward to them cooking up those type of plays in order
Yeah.
to overcome their tough defense.
Yeah. You hit on the head. I
My
think.
long-winded response, so my fault.
Oh, no, you're
Yeah.
good. No, I agree with you, man. They definitely need to, kind of attack the edges. I think that front seven is running in the middle is where it's pretty much non-existent. So they need to just, you saw him score on I think he scored on a jet sweep a couple different times this year already.
Mhm.
That's some like kind of one of them quick little gadget plays. We didn't call it a gadget play. I mean, it's just like an outside run, a jet sweep, just to, keep Georgia honest. So no, I agree there. All those. I mean, it's going to be, like you said, the turnover is going to be really important to just not, the Cage has got to, be smart with the ball. Um, I think it's important to just,
Yeah,
also
they
try
got
to
to get smart
establish
with the
that
ball.
run. Yeah, establish the run so that he's not, in those 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 situations where he's trying to force something. And yeah, no, those are all big keys. And I'll go ahead and start off with mine as well. Mine pretty much go, side by side with both of those. I mean, I put mine. So I got like my defensive category or defensive side of the ball, I should say. The two key things I have is, make sure to get off the field on 3rd down. One thing I just kind of noticed, even when playing Iowa, I mean, they obviously dominated Iowa and beat them pretty handily. But that first half, I mean, I feel like Iowa converted like 3 or 4 or 5 third downs just with ease. And I mean, they got to just find a way to be able to, get Georgia off the field, those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7s, and, find a way to create more possessions for the offense, especially knowing how tough that defense is. And talking about Georgia, and then I just feel like they got to just pressure Bennett, Stetson Bennett. You know, we I kind of told you a couple different times, E, that I feel like we kind of mirror Georgia very well. I feel like, you know, obviously take Cade over Stetson. Stetson, he's definitely like their weak points where I feel like, for us, I mean, it's pretty like leveled out, like, what I'm saying, all across the board. But I feel like with Stetson, Georgia or Alabama was able to expose him and just not make him look. Um, like the third string walk on quarterback he is. Really just made him uncomfortable. They couldn't really, they kind of just let him throw to that tight end. They got like a 5-star freshman that was just got kind of like tore up Bama when they played the SEC championship, but they really just made it to where like Stetson, like Georgia or Bama made sure like Stetson was going to be the one to beat them and not anybody else.
Right,
So
right.
I think we're able to just keep pressure on with Hutchinson, Ojabo. I even wrote down I think 3+ sacks. If you're able to get them on first down or, create like a third and long and, one of those sacks in a scenario where you're able to, help with field position, for the offense, that'll be huge. When it comes to offense, like you already said it, no turnovers. Cage has got to be smart with the ball. If it's not there, throw it away, tuck it and run, whatever it looks like. But just, we got to just live to see another down. We don't want to give them any type of momentum if they get up a touchdown or something like that. You can't give them any type of momentum for them to start to pour it on and, for the game to get out of hand. I'm sure this is Michigan's first time there, but I'm sure that, the coaches are really harping on like how important them turnovers are, as you get later into the season and the games get more and more important. And I just want them to execute the pass game. You already kind of said it, the bigger plays. I want them to, obviously establish the run, but be aggressive too. I'd love for them to come out and hit a couple of play actions early, just that secondary. I mean, they definitely that's probably like their another weakness for Georgia as well. Secondary looked pretty suspect against Bama.
Mm.
So I think if, we can, use play action to, kind of draw that secondary in, get some plays over the top, just to, because Georgia, I feel like they're expecting us to just pound the rock and, not try to throw the ball around. So we gotta keep them honest. And yeah, I just feel like if they're able to, I think the most important thing out of that is getting off the field on third down, not turn the ball over. I think if they're able to do that on both sides of the ball, I think we'll be able to pull away no problem.
No, I completely agree. Getting up the field on third down, I think, has been a sore spot when we do get in big games versus the Ohio State and
Yeah,
historically. So I would say, that really that's going to step up on the D line. I would say, like you said, make it interesting. Hudson, if you want to get that first pick shirt away, you can get a couple sacks in this or sack or two and some pressures, and
yeah.
definitely lock that first pick up, no doubt. So
Mhm.
I would say it's a big time for him, Jabo. I think I know there's some question about Daxton Hill, and I know we confirmed it earlier that he will be coming. I think he's probably another first round draft pick,
He's
and
profound talent, yeah.
yeah, so I would say he can come to play and continue to make a name for himself. So those type of
Hmm.
players are gonna have to really step up and cause havoc as far as defense goes. And
Yeah,
there's a couple other random things. I would say I'm looking forward to what they can do with JJ McCarthy as far as that he's been slowly getting worked in. I mean, we've had a steady dose of him all season, and he seems to make key plays later in the year. He has key plays versus Ohio State, key plays versus Iowa.
yeah.
They seem to be using him right. I'm excited to see with his confidence, another month off, what they could potentially cook up to have him out there, and that could be some of our big play potential with him.
Or-
And then I think as a I think another thing we could probably do is expose them with the tight ends. Our tight ends been playing very well. Eric All, I think it's Schumacher. I think
Schoonmaker.
they they're pretty good tight ends. We got a bunch of them that we can rotate throughout, and I would say that could be something we lean on as far as the passing game goes. They've seen been making plays as of recent. And just one last point, we have a full 100% play cornerback, so
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what he can do because he's been playing, not 100%, I would say, all the
right.
last few games he's been in. So
I played 100%. Well, against Ohio, he had a 65-yard run. Against Iowa, he had a 75-yard run. So he's
yeah,
gonna be hopefully, yeah, he's 100% good to go. But no, those are, I think, and all that too. Just kind of harp more on the defense. I just feel like that's really gonna be the defense. Just got to find a way to like not let Georgia start to get game momentum and get loose. Because I feel like the offense may struggle a little bit here and there against that defense, just because I mean they're just that good. Even Bama was kind of having an issue with them when that game started. I really just like Ojabo really has to, this is a way he can make a little bit more money and start to, sneak his way into that top 15, top 10, wherever, he might be projected at the moment. Because I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be chipping Hutchinson. They're going to be, doubling him and doing pretty much everything they can to make sure he doesn't, start to like destroy the game. So, Jabo definitely has to, rise to the occasion on his side, over on his side, and then Dax Hill. I anticipate usually like the strong safeties. They tend to be the guys that end up matching up with the tight ends. Sometimes linebackers do here and there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of had Dax just kind of like shadowing that tight end a little bit. The he's good. I mean, he runs routes like a receiver. I mean, he's real deal. So I think even him, Dax just gotta be sound and just trust your keys and because the receiving core. I mean, they had the guy Pickett that was out with the ACL. He think he got tore his ACL in like March. I think he came back and played in the SEC championship. So other than that, I haven't really heard a bunch from the receiving core. So I think if they're able to, really just stay disciplined back there and everybody just trust what they see, and Ojabo and Hutch just causing havoc, coming off the edge.
Yeah,
I
and
think it'd be a good job of neutralizing them.
right. And I would say obviously D line has to. They've been the strongest point of our defense all
Mhm.
season. So I would expect them to really make plays. But if we can get some turnovers, get really help our offense out. Just limit how many points they can put up on the board and give our offense more chances. Even though we are going against their strong defense, but if we could just just buy ourselves more possessions,
Mhm.
that be something that would really benefit us. So and I would say their offense isn't, I would say at least our offense has an identity. Like
Yeah.
we can run, we can pound the rock. So I would say we have that. I think we definitely have Haskins is like a 1,200. We didn't even mention Haskins yet. Haskins is like a 1,200, 15 or 12, 1,300 yard back. And I
Yeah.
think Blake Corum is just shy of 1,000 yards. Like maybe needs like 50, 60 more to go. So
Definitely, yeah. He would have touched 1,000 if he in the regular season if he would have been healthy.
yep, yep. So
Yeah.
I'd say at least we have a real identity that we can you know
Build off of and just
yeah, and our yeah. So I do feel pretty good about it. You know,
yeah. So how about score prediction? What you thinking?
Are you gonna maybe go first? All right.
I can go first. You want me to go first?
No, I got you. I got you.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go Michigan 34, Georgia 28.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do Michigan 28, Georgia 17. I think we capitalize more in the red zone, get a turnover or two, couple sacks in there, and I think the difference will be them kind of sputtering on offense a little bit, and it'll be us kind of taking advantage of that and forcing a turnover. So, yeah,
All right.
we'll see, man. It's gonna be a good game. Definitely looking forward to it. I know we're gonna shift gears for a little bit and talk about the game that now everybody's really talking about because the outcome is already pretty much everybody expects the same outcome. Yeah, at 3:30, the first round, the other one versus four, 3:30 game. That is Bama and Cincinnati. Um, I kind of just start off with I guess just to kind of talk about both teams for a little bit. I mean, obviously Bama's Bama. They've been to the playoffs. Then they said they've been to the playoffs like 7 times, and I mean
So
that's
go
like
around 7. Yeah.
yeah, and everybody. Yeah, I
8.
think everybody like yeah. I think after that it's like Clemson 3 or 4, Ohio's win a couple times, and then everybody else is like one or two times within there. So they definitely they understand this moment. I think it's funny. I've been kind of been able to hear some of the interviews from Bama on like ESPN and stuff all week. You would think these guys literally sitting up there like everybody's doubting us. Everybody's we got to prove them wrong. I'm like, who's doubting you?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? But Saban has, he has them thinking like, you know, almost convinced that they are, the underdog. They are doubted, and he's probably telling they got the linebacker Will Anderson that wasn't up for the Heisman. Probably telling him he should have won the Heisman. I'm sure that they're in there finding ways to keep these guys motivated and hungry to not stumble over a fairly decent Cincinnati team.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you got I give respect. You know, they were in the top 10 for the last couple of years, fought their way, finally snuck in. Defense is solid. I was actually able to watch him play a couple times, so we'll see what happens though.
yeah, no, I'm not to be like overly disrespectful. I just don't think they can match up with them. You know,
Yeah,
like just being quite frank. You know, I think it's going to be like you said. That means if Alabama's been there 7 times, that means probably the seniors have been there 3 or 4 times at least. The sophomores have been there 2 or 1 time. You know, everybody's been there before. They've been there,
yeah,
done that. Even if they've only been on a kickoff in the championship game before, they've had that experience versus the people who maybe were in the Motor City Bowl last year or two. So I would say
yeah.
it's a completely different. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be. Hopefully they can keep it pretty close, just make a game out of it. But ultimately, I was kind of
Since
think,
they were in the Sugar Bowl last year though. You just tried them so hard.
yeah, but that's still different though. But I didn't remember that. That's funny.
No, that's hilarious. I mean, I feel what you're saying. That was just you said that. I'm like, damn.
Bro, where that mic come from? How you gonna pick the mic up like that? But no. So, all right,
Sorry, go
I'll give
ahead.
them credit for that. But I still think they're gonna lose like 55-17. So,
Bro,
yeah,
honestly, part of me, I might just like, I don't want to watch the full game. I just want to watch that like the rerun of like the highlights like Georgia versus Cincinnati last year. 'Cause they only lost by 3. And I mean, it was like Sugar Bowl in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like it was basically like a road game. Like nobody gave them a chance. I'm just curious to see what they. Obviously it was
now you
last
said
year.
it, I do remember that game.
Yeah, completely.
But
Last year, a completely different year. Like COVID and whatnot. Like a lot of things were just like out of whack last year. But I mean, they beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame earlier this year. They in a Group 5 conference, so they don't see like a lot of them teams. But they beat down on Indiana. I'm just you know, obviously they. I mean, I'm sure we all agree. I think they're gonna lose like probably like 41-14, maybe 60-0. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a good chance they might get their doors blown off. But I don't know. I think they got a decent squad. They got like I think they said probably two of the best corner. One of the corners was a Jim Thorpe Award winner.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
interesting to see them against the receivers.
I will give them some credit. They're obviously a solid squad. I mean,
Yeah.
but and I think. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on their name. His coach, their coach, but their
Oh,
coach
Luke Fickle.
Lou Fickle. He was been around the Big Ten, coached at Ohio State for like season or two. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously their program's rolling now.
Yeah.
They're at what 13-0,
Yeah.
but it will be interesting, and I just think Alabama's so superior.
Oh
And
yeah. I completely agree. I just had to. I just had to give you a hard time with the quick lane ball. Because that's like that. You don't even quick lane bowl. They play like November. like I'm pretty sure that bowl was like Monday morning at 11 o'clock, like a couple of days ago.
it's 6 a.m. on Christmas.
Right? Yeah. Right. ESPN.
No,
ESPN
I'm
U.
joking. No, we joking. We can't share the Detroit boy that much. But
Right. But no, yeah. No, I mean, I see what you're saying though. Like, and I feel the same way. Like, I couldn't. Like, there's no way I'd even put a dollar on Cincinnati. Even the spread is like 14 points or something like that. Like, they'll be lucky to like be within that after the first quarter. If you ask me, like it very well has because we've seen Bama do that to like Michigan State, Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? Just like make it to where they don't have a chance. Like we've always seen this with Bama where they got some big matchup that mid-season 1 versus 2 whatever that kind of looks like, and it usually don't matter who it is. Sometimes teams will you know catch Bama on the wrong day, on a bad day or whatever, but they've been here way too many times to stumble in the first round against Cincinnati.
yeah, that's
So
I completely
yeah,
agree.
I'll give a the prediction. I mean score prediction. I think they'll probably be touching 50. I think it'll be like a 48-14. And I'm just hoping for it to be a little, somewhat competitive. But just from like a fan standpoint. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, I do. I think it's going to be pretty similar. My score earlier, 55-17, might be harsh, but I think, I think you'll be in that realm. I think it'll be the same story. I think Bama gets out. I think Bama gets out. They just putting up points. Even if the score, even if teams go punch for punch with Bama, they ultimately stumble at some point.
Oh
Quarterback
yeah,
throws a pick, they fumble.
three and out. That's
They
all it
pop
takes.
you. Yeah, they punt you. You think you get them on the punt, and your dude muffed the punt on the six or something.
Yeah.
They ultimately end up starting that steamroll, and it happens eventually. So I would say,
Hmm.
that's kind of what I think is more of the same with this, and but hopefully they can make a game out of it. Shock the world, uh,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I know we prefer that matchup if
my
we were able
goodness.
to get past Georgia.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll be like
yeah.
print the
See,
shirts yesterday if we get somehow get Cincinnati into that championship. Yeah, but no, I think yeah, like I said, just from a fan perspective, congrats to Cincinnati, the first Group 5 school to probably the last to get into the playoff because they're gonna end up going to the Big 12 next season, which I think will be, that'll be a real good, see if they
you
can
think
carry
the
this
bookings are
momentum.
getting so crazy compared to
I
what?
know. I used to think it was kind of bad when because like Big Ten went to like Nebraska and then they were getting over to the East Coast, but now like the Big 12 is going to be. I mean, it's like West Virginia, Cincinnati. I think BYU might be joining them. Like, yeah, I get you. I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. But we'll catch back up next week with hopefully some great news from Michigan standpoint.
Yeah,
Michigan basketball stumbling a little bit. We got to talk about
mhm.
what they're doing, and
Yeah,
yeah, finish up the Lion season as well. And so
yeah,
yeah, lot to talk about coming up. That's it.
yeah. So we got to next time, y'all. Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year.
Yes, sir. Peace.